Namaskar, dear friends. Today our topic is universal mind as a memory storage device. What is memory? The definition of memory is the process of encoding informations, storing the informations, and retrieving the informations. And we have learned and we know that these functions are managed by our brain. A person with a damaged brain may not be able to do these functions, as a result of which he cannot remember things properly the way we people remember and store. What does it mean? Does it mean that there is no sufficient storage area in his brain cells to store these informations? Or does it simply mean that his brain cells are not capable of either decoding the information, encoding the informations to store in the storage device, whether it is the brain or whether it is some other area outside of the brain, or in case he was able to store it at the proper storage area, is it his inability to retrieve such informations from the area where it is stored, whether it is inside the brain or outside of the brain? Informations, short-term memories can be stored in the brain, not only in the brain, in every cell of our body. Short-term informations can be stored, but long-term informations cannot be stored in the brain, and brain is not the place to store long-term informations. These long-term informations are stored in the mind, in the individual mind, which is part of the universal mind. These informations are retrieved from the mind, from the individual mind, which is part of the universal mind. Brain is only a device which facilitates the storing and retrieving of the data which are stored in the universal mind, or the individual mind, which is part, or in different individual minds which are part of the universal mind. Some children, we have heard or we have read that have remembered incidents from their past life, and they were able to recognize some of the relatives in their past life who are alive now. If their memories die along with their brains, they cannot retrieve this information which were stored in the brain or the body of their previous birth. They have retrieved this information only from the mind, their own mind, which is part of the universal mind. Brain is only a conduit in between the physical body and the mental body, the physical and the mental. The informations in the physical are stored in the non-physical by means of this substance called brain. And the same informations are retrieved from the non-physical to the physical with the help of brain. And brain is not a storage device. Storage is taking place inside the mind, which may be inside or outside of the body. But which is connected to the body as long as the body is alive. Mind, when not in a physical body, does not require any help of an intermediary for the purpose of storing and retrieving informations. It does it on its own. But when the informations have to be retrieved in the physical plane from the non-physical and has to be stored from the physical to the non-physical, brain is required. And this is the purpose of the brain. And informations are not stored there, informations are stored elsewhere. We know each cell of our body is bound to die, depending on which part of the body these cells are. They have different lifespans. There may not be even a single cell in our body which was there at the time of our birth. Considering this, we can say we are a completely different person from the person we were at the time of our birth. But do we really feel so? We don't feel so, because there is some continuity somewhere. That continuity is there in memories, in your mind. The mind is continuing those memories. The memories of your various past lives and your past in the present life itself. The imprints the memories have made in your mind. The incidents in your life have made in your mind. The guilty feelings, the inclinations of your mind, your past samskaras, everything is continuing in your mind. You might have heard people telling to change your future, change your mind, because mind ultimately becomes your reality. Everything happens first in the mental plane, and then it comes to the physical plane. So by changing your mind, change your future. But we have to add one more sentence to that. That is, along with changing your future, there is one more thing, that by changing your mind, you are also changing your past. All the results of our past karmas we are carrying along with us from various lives and your past years in your present life as imprints created in your mind, feelings created in your mind, whether it is guilty feeling or feeling of satisfaction of having done some good deeds in your life, or your inclinations towards certain things, certain habits, certain characteristics. All these results in the circumstances which you are facing now, whether they may be your friends, whether they may be your relatives, or the incidents in your life. All these are called karma phalas. By changing the mind You are changing your future course of action by changing your present mind, and as well as you are changing your past, because after changing your mind to a new mindset, you are going to get those karma phalas which are applicable to a person who led a life with the new set of mind which you have right now, and not the karma phalas of the person who had the mindset which you were having earlier before the present change in your mind. That means your past itself you have changed by changing your mind, and you have also changed your future by changing your mind. If any one of you feel that I have given some new insight, some new way of thinking, please try to develop on this and try to get proof of the fact that this memory is not stored in brain but in the mind, in the individual minds which are part of the universal mind, and not in the brain cells. If you feel that I am talking nonsense, the only thing I can tell you is try to develop a scientific mind where you can accept newer ideas, newer insights, and allows you to think about them, to find out whether there is any truth in them. Or if you finally come to a conclusion that there is no truth, discard them. Thank you very much for your kind listening.